Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Congratulations, You're In. Throughout each of our episodes, we will explore the many steps that you, as Montgomery County High School students, may encounter both before and during your college application process. Together, we want to guide you towards reading those fantastic words, Congratulations, You're In. I'm Tony Spearman-Leach, your host, and joining us today is Ed Reed, the President-elect of the Maryland School Counselor Association. Ed, thanks for joining us again. Everybody has loved all of your insight and your tips that you've given them. And today, we're going to just rock their world, because today we're going to get into this college interview process. And what do we do? Parents fear it, students fear it, everybody wants to know how you do it, and you're the expert. So tell us a little about the college interview. Are they required? What are they all about?
Well, first of all, Tony, thank you for having me, and it's an honor to be here. But when we look at the college interview, first tip I'm going to give you, relax. Relax.
I'm nervous, no way, but okay.
Right? You want to relax.
Okay.
Because you want to go in and be at your best.
Very true.
And if you go in all jittery and you're scared and you're nervous and you're fumbling on your words, you might have a lot of great things to share, but your nerves might become a barrier from them great things coming out of you when the questions are asked. So I'm going to tell you, relax.
Okay.
Now,
that's easier said than done, but okay.
And so let me show you how you get to a point of being relaxed. Okay. First is preparation. That's the key. Preparation, and your preparation starts with research. So let's look at the colleges. Each college is going to have its own standard. Now, there are some universal standards that different tier level colleges will have in common. Mm-hmm. And so as a student, you want to do some research at the college and find out, do they grant interviews?
Very important issue. Are you even going to get a chance to do an interview? But okay, so now I find out they do grant interviews. So now what happens next?
So then you got to make sure you schedule an interview.
Okay, so a lot relies on me in doing my homework is what you're telling me.
I'm telling you, do your research.
Okay.
Do your research.
So now what happens if I get invited to an interview? That really makes me super nervous, because not now they've told me, and I feel like a lot of pressure's on me, a lot of pressure's on my parents. What do I do now?
So you've been invited. Have you scheduled a date for the interview?
Okay. So you keep reminding us there's a lot of responsibility that lays with me. It's all on my shoulders as a student to do my homework, to know about my university. What about the students who go into interviews without knowing anything about the university itself?
I would say that's a mistake. I would caution you not to do that.
Okay.
Even if you're in transit,
okay, on
your way to the interview, pull out your phone, get on Google, and learn something about the college or the university.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you, at this point in your high school career, you should have some insight on yourself.
Very true.
You need to have some self-awareness, because there are going to be some questions, and the purpose of the question is for the person who's doing the interview to get to know you.
Okay.
Beyond what they'll see on their transcript. Who are you? Are you a fit?
That is an excellent point, because I think back to my college days, and I think that a lot of the students do forget that the real question does become, is this the right place for you to do exactly what you want to do? But I'm scared about that. How do I know it's a fit for me?
Because you've done your research prior. So I keep saying do your research. So let's back up a little bit. Let's look at, why do you want to go to that particular university?
Okay. Well, I want to hold on that note, because we're at that point that we're going to have to take a little break. So Ed, I do want to thank you for these helpful tips. You've told us about why we need to do our research. You've given us the guidance, and you remind us, God knows why, you are a great resource and why it's a wonderful place to be a student here in Montgomery County. It's a great place to learn. Right now we're going to take a brief break, and we'll return back with more information on how we can help you on Congratulations, You're In.
No more teachers' dirty looks. School's out for summer. School's out forever. School's out with fever. School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
School's out for summer.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
Hello, and welcome back to our latest episode of Congratulations, You're In. Ed Reed, the president-elect of the Maryland School Counselor Association and CEO of Academic Management Group, LLC, is guiding us with career pathway insight that can help us make today's professional dreams tomorrow's realities. And Ed, let's jump right back to where we were at. You were getting into the point when we were talking about the college interview and being prepared. So let's pick up on that, doing your preparation, your homework.
Right. And when you prepare for the interview, you're also preparing because you never know who's going to ask you a question about why you want to go to that university. Give you a quick example. A few years ago, one of my students, he said, "Mr. Reed, can you write me a letter of recommendation?" I used to be this kid's assistant principal at one of the high schools.
Okay.
And I had moved on, but he tracked me down and he said, "Mr. Reed, can you give me a letter of recommendation?" I said, when does it have to be in? He said, "Well, it really needs to be in like in the next couple of weeks, like really soon." I said, "I'll take care of it, but before I write it, why? Why do you want to go to this university? What is it about this university that makes you want to go?" And you come and ask me for a recommendation at the last minute. And then he did his research.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he went down to the university to the point where he sat into a class to make sure it was a good fit for him. And then he talked about a statue and what the scripture, the inscription on the statue said, and he shared that with me. Now watch this, Tony. I called the school, the admissions office, to see if I could email the letter so he could really get there quick, and the dean of admissions answered the phone.
That's phenomenal.
Now I was able to talk to the dean, I believe it was High Point in North Carolina,
Okay.
and I talked to that dean of admissions. I said, well, explain the backstory, and I said, but this kid, he's a great kid, and he really wants to come. As a matter of fact, when he was down there visiting, and he talked about this statue and the inscription, the kid did his research, and I was able to share that. The kid went to High Point, he got in. But when you do your research, you really want to know what programs does the school have?
And what you've done that I think is so important, you made the student personalize their relationship to the university, so they stood out from all the other candidates. I think students fail to understand that they are competing against hundreds to thousands of other applicants. Mm-hmm. And so you're trying to stand out. And so this kid picked out one aspect, an inscription on a statue that they admired, shared that with you, and you were able to share that with the dean.
Absolutely.
To guarantee the genuineness of their sincerity and wanting to attend that university. But I really have another thing that I think students forget about, and I know in your career you've seen this, making sure that your college application and your college interview say the same thing. Could you share that with students?
Sure, absolutely, because we're in a time where people are going to be a little skeptical. Who wrote this application? Who wrote the essay?
Thank you. Did mom and dad write it, or did you write it?
Or did you hire somebody?
That's right.
If you hire me, I'm not writing your essay. But nevertheless, we look for alignment. Is there alignment between what you have written and what you say?
That's right. And so I think that's important, because I don't think that students really reflect on the fact that people like you, who are the counselor and then the admissions director, everyone's going to look to make sure there's consistency across the board. On that interview, with that application, with the recommendation that came from someone like you.
Right.
So the final thing that I get concerned with is students really freak out and wonder, are the interviews there to destroy you, or are they there to help you? What is the purpose really of the college interview when you go to them?
Well, from my vantage point, the college interview is an opportunity.
Absolutely.
It is an opportunity for you to really show how you fit in, but don't oversell yourself. It's an opportunity for you to learn from an alumni perspective or someone in the admissions perspective, because oftentimes there'll be alumni such as yourself who will come over in the region to do the interview. And so you can learn a lot about the school, and the art of the interview is to begin to turn it into a conversation, an exchange of information, exchange of thought. And then also the opportunity is there to develop a contact as you build your network.
This is absolutely phenomenal. You have nailed what I think these students really need to know and that their parents need to know before they go to the interview. At this time, we're going to kind of wrap up this segment. You have really, I think, put students at ease. It is there to help them. It's there to help their application. I want to thank you, and I want to thank our outstanding guests from the Maryland School Counselor Association and Academic Management Group LLC, Ed Reed. Ed, you are a resource of gold for this county. Now that we've gotten you to a few steps closer to reading and hearing those fantastic words, congratulations, you're in. We hope that you're excited. Please join us during our upcoming episodes where together we will explore researching your major and minor for college, preparing your college application. We've gone over what to do during a college interview, but we're going to go over even more tips. We're going to talk about scholarships, grants, loans, and so very much more. Until next time, keep working towards your dreams until you hear those words. Congratulations, you're in.